People tryna say I'm only into me. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Man, amen. Spent about 60 on the time, I can't even lie. No way in, no way out, do or die. So on roll, when I roll, must be. Amen, man. I can't ride Benz, I don't do peace. I beast, I gotta eat. Saber-tooth tiger.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good rushing offense. The Lions lead the league in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Vikings, who will need to be stout up front.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The first carry for Dalvin Cook. And a nice spin into some open field. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there. But you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
They run again on first down. Cook trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Looking to throw on second down. Melton. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. From the gun, Melton. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Off play action. Melton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Gerald Hodges coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
To throw on second down, Melton. His throw caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
And the tight end Ebron in motion. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And to give this time to the tailback. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Luck going to keep it on the sneak. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. Jones will come now in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Jim Caldwell's guys cannot come through there on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. They start the drive with Cook. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They run the counter with Cook. There's a nice move. And now running right through it. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, they're making a real 1st quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, look at the juke. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back to throw. Melton. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Throwing to start the drive. Melton. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ezekiel Ansah in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Operating from the gun. Melton. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Melton. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Handoff comes to Cook. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Looking to throw. Melton. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He finds some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They're 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Look at the spin. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now they'll run. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there. 26 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They run it again with Cook. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it. Thank you.
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Let's go!
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. To go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him. Larry.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that in that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. In motion right is Jones. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And some room to work. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions add on to their lead. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bullet. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make a play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see. To throw on second down. Melton. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Melton over the middle here to Rudolph. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Melton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down. This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And the tight end Ebron in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss. What a spin. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 50, it's Locke. Being chased out left. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Jones will come now in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, a little 360. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front, and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Now making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. And now a first down following that long gain. Going to give this time to the tailback. Open space inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this down to the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now. That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
In motion left, the tight end. From the 4, it's second and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Here we go.
Throwing again on second and 10. Melton's throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and all of a sudden here, it's third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. And in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Again, it's Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a run with Cook. A beautiful spin and room to run. Cook able to escape. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run. Run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Eight yards to go here on second down. In motion right is Jones. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now it's Locke. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Jones will come now in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And the tight end Ebron in motion. 2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. Spins away, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions add on to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Operating from the gun. Melton. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
From the gun, Melton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, You're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more.
Partner, this running back's having a heck of a day on the ground. He just keeps punching it in and rushing for touchdown after touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And some time here to focus on Kyle Rudolph as he heads back out there. And the numbers show it, low involvement early. But since he's been involved, it's been a good thing for this offense.
Indeed it has, and when you're able to finally get him going, get him fully integrated into the offense, things feel a whole lot better for your team. It expands everything that they do trying to move the football.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Shifts past him at the 45. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. In motion right is Jones. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them. That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now they send a man in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but, you know, the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw, Luck. Flushed out right. The ball comes out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. And the tight end Ebron in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Off the play fake. Melton. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 85 yards. Throwing on 1st down. Melton able to push his way through. This will be caught at about the 5. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw on 2nd down. Melton. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the tight end Ebron in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss.
Whoosh.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. 36 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do next.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to base. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A big offensive...
I've been since my early days. I've been stuck in my worldly ways. Propaganda, press, pen, the camera. Please don't look at me in my face. Everybody might see my